Now, since I've gone this far, remember I told you this was about sticking out about a 1/16 of an inch. Well, I'm going to take a rasp like this, smooth here, rougher here, and then this is the contoured side, rough, smooth. I'm going to take the rough side, and this should be fairly easy because this is redwood. I'm just going to hold this, and what I want to do is I'm just going to gouge into it, and I'm going to keep going that direction. See, the last person who did this, see these flakes here? See how this is already loose a little bit? Because somebody went back and forth and then they whacked it off. That's eating it up really nice. I can take the smoother side and just ease the edge and the bottom here, top. See how this, somebody hit that and that's loose too. So just in case the gate happens to sag a little bit more, it'll give this edge between that and the post up against the wall just a little bit more room. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and screw that back on. That's where it was before. Unfortunately, the screws are still holding tight. Can you see if I raised that up a little bit higher, I could have had possibility of these screws getting too loose and maybe spinning in there, splitting off the top edge of the redwood 2x4. Okay, now we can go on to the next step. Okay, so I've undone these 4 screws. Now I can kind of hold it up there and kind of mimic this. I'm trying to split the difference, I think, about like that, but I want to pull that back because I want to make sure that this little hook doesn't rub the top of that as I go, you know, and that there's enough room underneath it so the bottom doesn't hit the latch coming up and down at the bottom, you know. Okay, so it's kind of a happy medium here, and I'm looking. Wow, I didn't think I was going to have to lower it that much, but I think I'm going to try it right there. Now, see, I lowered it down here about 3/8 of an inch, and so what I'm going to do, I'm not going to put all 4 screws in just yet. I'm going to put like 1 screw in and pre-drill it right. Right there, I guess. I'm going to pre-drill that. I'm just going to put 1 screw, then I'm going to try it, because if I want to raise it, cheat it up or down less than a 1/16, like a 32nd or so, I could still do that, and then I could mount my other 3 screws first and then re-drill out this hole. Okay, so now I can go ahead and pre-drill that hole out. I've got this a lot thinner than the screw, and these screws are a little shorter, and so I'm only going to have that go in as far as that, and it's a lot smaller. I'm just concerned, and all I'm concentrating on is getting a hole that's going straight. You can see how close to the edge I am. I just want that straight. That way when I put this screw in there, it's got a pilot hole to go in there, and hopefully it's not going to crack out of the edge, and I know it won't because I pre-drilled it. Hey, that's it. See, that's plenty tight, and it's not really going to swivel or move around. That's acting as though there's 4 screws in there. So now I can check the gate. Now, have I closed this gate yet? Of course I have not. I want you to see exactly what I see. Oh, that's nice. See there? That's where you want it. Because the bottom is pushing down with that, and the top's missing, the bottom's missing from out front. All I have to do is pull the gate closed and it's going to go closed. Let's see. That's what I want. I just pull on the wire, and see, from outside I can't tell if it's closed all the way. Now see, if somebody really wanted to jiggle it, they might be able to get it open. So from outside, after you close it, you just take this wire and push on it from the other side. Let's see if it'll work, because it's not a very stiff wire. Some are a little bit stiffer than others. Okay. See, I just pushed on it a little bit, and that's going to make it work. Now see, this wire is only, looks like electrical wire cable. So it's copper in there, and it almost feels like it's stranded copper. So see, it's not very stiff. You could take a copper wire, you know, black, yellow, white, green, whatever, or you can take a piece of baling wire. You know, I've seen that too, and do anything, and then you can make a hook at the end. In this case, this is just a key ring, and then they wrap the wire around here, and then they put black electrical tape on there. So I mean, you can do it however you want. See how that works? Okay, I think, by Joe, I can put these other screws in now. Okay, before you put those screws in, guess what you're going to do? That's right, pre-drill first. Now if you're really good, you can hold your hand up there, eyeball this into the very middle. But see, you know what? Dabbity nabbit. It's going to be hard for me to pre-drill this because my drill head is hitting the edge of that. I'd have to put that in at an angle, and then I wouldn't be able to get to the back. Don't think, I'll just put this one in at an angle and leave it. Those two on the other side are no good. I don't need to do those. That's plenty tight. Well, I want you to go the extra mile, just like Joe. I'm going to take this, I'm going to eyeball the middle of that, tap that, and I can get this other side, right where the middle is. Tap that. The same thing up here. It only takes a little bit longer to do things right. You never have to worry about it again. Okay, get in the habit of doing stuff like that. Okay, now I'm going to take this screw out, then I'll have to pre-drill the other ones. But I'm glad I didn't just pre-drill all of it and put it in, because had I and thought it was exactly right, I might think, oh shoot, I wish I would have lowered it down a 32nd of an inch or 1/16th of an inch, or up 1/16th of an inch. Now it's going to be harder to do that, because if you take this out, it's hard to pre-drill another hole a 1/16th or less above or below the existing holes. Remember that. Make sure you find the right holes. Get them in there. So I'm glad I'm drilling these, pre-drilling those, because see how close they are to the edge, and I can't get my drill any closer than that, and that's why I'm pre-drilling it, because I don't want to try to run the screw in there and then have the screw wobble and walk off to the left a little bit, and then it could split this out. By me pre-drilling it, that's not going to happen. There. Now see here, this extension has a magnetic tip on it, and then that holds that in there. See how short this one is? Look at this one. See how much longer that is? So it's always good. I always like to use kind of a long one, but my set came with a small one and a long one. Okay, but now I'm set, because if I can't get in there with the small one, I've got the long one to jump back with. And here's kind of a slick thing on this. On this one here, has a sleeve here, like that. So if you're worried about this coming off the screw head, let's say, you really want to get something in there and you're afraid you're not holding it perfectly straight, you can slide this up. After you put this on a screw head, you can slide that up like that and then hang on to that, and then this will spin, see, like that when you're going, and then it will go right up through there. I don't really use this much because I'm pretty good at and straight, but you know, if you need something like that in a pinch, this one here, you got it. Now, not all sleeves like this have this slider, so if you don't like this, you don't have to get it, or you can get one that has it. Just look at the hardware store. They've got just about everything you need. Let's do it. Make sure I find the right hole there. Ugh. This is supposed to be a magnetic tip, but these screws are kind of old. It's having a hard time holding on to that. Okay, that's where it was before. I'm looking good for my other ones. Now, if you notice that some of these holes aren't in the center. Let's say, for instance, this one, you pre-drill it and it looks like it's slightly off that way. If you put a screw in there next, this thing is going to push over at an angle. So if you don't think that one's straight and this one looks straight over here, do this one first. Then that will hold that. Oh, look at that, my battery's going dead too. See, now I can put it in here. If it was slightly off, it'll still slide right to where it needs to be. Wow. I couldn't have planned that any better because I don't have a battery that's charged right now. Okay. I could do a once over with the hand screwdriver, but generally that drill will hold everything snug, and it is. Oh man, that's never going to go anywhere. See, don't you think that's going to hold better because I slid this down? I got 4 screws into this rather than that other bracket latch on the gate being up high on the 2x4. Okay. That's nice. I'm liking that. Okay. Well, there you go. Mark that off our list. Well, that's all I got for this time, but I'll be back with more videos.